Order, can I have roll call, please?
Councilmember Mario Buchanan Jr.,
Present.
Councilmember Africa Luna Carrasco,
Present.
Councilmember Jose Ponce,
Present.
Councilmember Matias Rosales,
Present.
Councilmember Gloria Torres,
Present.
Vice Mayor Maria Cecilia Cruz,
Present.
Mayor Gerardo Sanchez.
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Thank you. Matias, could you lead us to the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
I pledge allegiance
Yes,
to the flag
and
of the United States of
America, and to the
America,
republic for which it stands,
Stands
one
one
nation,
one nation,
under God,
Divisible.
with liberty and
and
justice
just for all.
Chief?
Mayor,
Yes.
¿sí me escucha?
Sí, sí le escucho, Gloria.
Okay.
Okay. Gracias, señor.
Let's pray. Father, we thank you again for your goodness to each one of us, and we pray tonight that you would continue to meet the needs of our community, of our state, and of our nation. We know that we live in kind of perilous times and things are different, but we pray that you would allow us the wisdom and judgment again tonight to look at the things that we need to look at. And Father, for the best interest of those that we serve, we pray that we would make good, informed, and wisdom decisions. We ask this in your name. Amen.
Amen. Thank you, Chief.
Amen.
We're going to go ahead and go with the proclamation. Sonia?
Proclamation of Yuma County, City of Yuma, City of San Luis, City of Somerton, and Town of Welton, urging out county residents to follow the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, guidelines to combat the spread of COVID-19. The chairman of the Board of Supervisors of Yuma County, Arizona, and the mayors of the cities of Yuma, San Luis, Somerton, and Welton, Arizona, find whereas the governor of Arizona, in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, issued a declaration of emergency on March 11, 2020. Whereas Yuma County and all its communities are facing health challenges as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, and as of June 10, the Yuma County Public Health District has confirmed 2,588 COVID-19 positive cases and 39 deaths in Yuma County. Whereas Yuma County is experiencing increased community spread and the threat of infection remains high. Whereas the spread of COVID-19 can lead to severe respiratory illness, disease complications, and death for Yuma County residents, particularly people of any age who have underlying medical conditions and people who are 65 or older. Whereas COVID-19 can be spread by people who do not have symptoms and do not know they are infected. Whereas the best way to prevent illness is to avoid being exposed to the virus. Now, therefore, they jointly urge the following: that all members of our community take action to ensure they are protecting themselves, their families, their co-workers, and their friends to combat the spread of COVID-19. To minimize the spread of COVID-19, residents should follow the CDC guidelines by adopting these actions. Wash your hands often with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, or if soap and water are not available, use a hand sanitizer that contains at least 60% alcohol. Clean surfaces that you or others touch, often with an EPA-registered household disinfectant daily. Wear a facial cover or mask whenever you go out in public, regardless of whether you are 6 feet apart or not. And keep in mind that wearing a mask does not eliminate your need to keep 6 feet apart. Avoid gatherings of 10 or more people at all times, and if you are sick or not feeling well, stay home and contact your medical provider as soon as possible. It is critical to slow the spread in our community for the protection of our most vulnerable populations, ensure our healthcare system is not negatively impacted, and to enable businesses to remain open in a safe and healthy manner. Proclaimed jointly at San Luis, Arizona, this 24th day of June 2020.
Thank you, Sonia. I really appreciate that. This was directed, the person was actually wanting to do this I was very grateful for Tony Reyes for taking charge and getting all the communities together and actually signing this proclamation. It is something that we wanted to do, we needed to do 2 months ago, 6 weeks ago. It is something that it's very important, especially right now. When that declaration was signed, I'm sorry, the proclamation was signed, there were over 2,000 cases. Now, as of right now, there are 5,131 cases and 72 deaths. So it's the numbers are doubling in a couple of days, and it is something that is happening and occurring here in Yuma County as a whole. They talk about, yes, we've done up to 30,000 tests, but it's not even 10% of the population of Yuma County. So I insist and we recommend, and we all the mayors recommend we continue the level of testing. We need to continue doing more testing. It is upsetting when our federal government or chief federal governments are basically saying that the possibility of slowing down testing. It is not recommended. World Health Organization recommends testing. CDC recommends testing. We all recommend testing. It's very important because we need to know actual numbers. Unfortunately, right now, there are some people that are trying to blame the reason why we have so many positives was because we're doing more testing. Yes, that is a factor. But another factor is that we're getting a lot of community spread, community infection. The vast majority, in my opinion, are community infection because we are seeing it every day. More of our community are testing positive, and more of our younger population are testing positive. And we're starting to see a lot more sick people, really sick people, and young people, 32 years old, 28 years old, and 39-year-olds. So we're seeing a lot more severe respiratory symptoms. So I caution our community. This is something that affects everyone. It is affecting Yuma County. It's affecting San Luis Rio Colorado also. It's not the time to be pointing fingers. I think it's time to take responsibility, and actually we can do something about it. The tools are there. Let's wear our masks. Let's wash our hands. Let's do social distancing. When you're sick, this is probably the most important one is if you feel sick, stay home. Stay home, please. Do it for your family, do it for yourself, and do it for our community. So it's something we need you to do. I could talk to you a bit more about it, but we'll talk to it later in the update. So thank you, Tony. Thank you, all the mayors. Thank you, council. And thank you, staff, actually, for everything you do for us. So let's just hope. Let's just hope that we can control this better, and we can. So I'll talk more when we talk about the update. So thank you, council. We're going to go ahead and go with the consent agenda. All matters are considered routine by City Council and will be enacted by one motion. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and we consider separately. Minutes of regular council meeting held May 13, 2020. Work session held May 14, 2020. Special meeting held May 14, 2020. Disbursements from June 1st, 2020 through June 12, 2020. $981,671.89. I will now take a motion.
Mayor, I move to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor. There's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those against? Motion carries. We're going to go ahead and go with the discussion and possible action items. The item number 6A, discussion and possible action on all matters regarding a contract between the City of San Luis and Greater Yuma Port Authority in participating in the Economic Strength Program Grant ESP from the Arizona Department of Transportation, ADOT, and the Arizona Commerce Authority, ACA, for the construction of infrastructure improvements to the Magrino Industrial Park. Jenny Torres?
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. The Greater Yuma Port Authority requested our assistance in applying for this grant through ACA. They are not an eligible applicant. They could only be a co-sponsor to the application. So what we did is we worked with them in trying to submit this application, but we believe that setting up a contract to determine the responsibilities that the port would have and what the city would have. And pretty much just to run down a little bit of some of the responsibilities, for the Port Authority, they're pretty much responsible to pay all the fees. That includes the match for the grant, the engineering, construction, administration, if there is additional expenses, city fees, pretty much everything, they would be responsible to pay for that. What we would be responsible is to pretty much oversee the project, to administer the grant, do the reporting for the grant, and the project consists of, a road in accessing the Magrino Industrial Park. We believe that the grant could pay for the paving, and the Port Authority has the funding to do the underground. So what we talked to the Port Authority was about trying to combine the funds and make it into one specific project so that it would be more efficient and that we would have control over the entire project. I don't know if you have any specific questions on the matter. The grant obviously would help bring in more industry to the industrial park, create jobs, so we believe that the city overall would benefit with this project.
So are we participating, or have you applied for this grant, Jenny?
Yes, the application was due in June 11, and
Yeah.
the GYEDC pretty much did the whole application. I reviewed it, and then we went ahead and submitted it.
Okay. What does the Yuma Port Authority say?
Mr. Chairman?
We are for it, and we agree the contract will show with the details what we each have to do, and we weren't able to have our board meeting this week to issues and personal people being gone and so forth. But yeah, the last time we met, we're on board, and this is something that we would like to get done to be able to continue the build out of the Port Authority, get into unit number 3 and get some more laptops there so we could get some more companies to come in. And this will also pave the way for the remainder of the 110 acres left to the south in case we do get a big user that wants a lot of land like we did last year that we weren't able to get.
Well, I commend the Yuma Port Authority and all the work the YDC is doing, and I appreciate that. And I realized that before the COVID situation, most lot plots in that area have been sold. And these are businesses that want to come to the San Luis, Arizona area, which just means jobs for our community. So I commend what the Yuma Port Authority is doing, and so thank you so much, Jenny. Thank you for the hard work you guys are doing. I know it's difficult times, but we need to continue looking for jobs, looking for resources for our community. We need more sources of jobs for our community. That's something that we've been working on. We will continue working. So thank you. And Yuma Port Authority, thank you. Thank you for doing a great job also.
And following up with that comment, Mayor, we are completely sold out. And even with the COVID-19, I think this is actually the perfect time because it's going to bring in more companies into the area due to the delays with shipping from international and other countries. So we are seeing a lot more activity and people asking and requesting more land out there in the Port Authority area. So not only us, but statewide, but that is going to be a benefit to the region as well.
I suspect we're probably going to have a higher demand now because I suspect that we're going to be depending less on Asia, that market, and actually we're going to probably be, most likely, we're going to be using a lot more our brothers from Mexico and our counterparts in Canada. So I do expect a shift in imports and exports. So I think we are ready. We have the land, and it's something that we need to take advantage of this at this point in time in regards to companies wanted to come, wanted to focus more in Mexico and focus more in Canada and the United States. So yeah, you're right. I agree. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and open the floor for discussion. Matias, any more further comments, concerns?
Not on my part.
Thank you, Matias. Africa Luna Carrasco, questions, concerns, comments?
No, Mayor, I'm good, thank you.
Thank you. Let's see here. Gloria Torres, comments, questions, concerns?
No, Mayor.
Thank you. Vice Mayor, comments, questions, concerns?
Yes, Mayor, I just want to congratulate Matias as chair for the Greater Yuma Port Authority. They're doing an amazing job there. And I read here that it's going to create 111 jobs, estimated total economic impact of $9 million to the region. So yeah, good news, Matias. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vice Mayor.
Indeed, very good job. Thank you. Jose Ponce, comments, questions, or concerns?
No, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Mario Buchanan Jr., any questions, comments, or concerns?
No, Mayor. Thanks.
Thank you so much. If not, no more comments, questions. I will now entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move to approve contract between the City of San Luis and Greater Yuma Port Authority.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
There's a motion on the floor. There's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those against? Motion carries. Thank you, Jenny.
Thank you.
We're going to go ahead and go with item number 6B, discussion and possible action on all matters regarding authorization for employee vacation accrual payment. Tadeo, Eulalia, City Manager.
Mayor, Vice Mayor, council members, for the last 100 days, the world in San Luis we have been experiencing a unprecedented pandemic that we as a city have to be fortunate enough to count on the loyal employees who through all this have continued to be working every day to serve our community. Nonetheless, and as part of the benefits, they have been continued accumulating vacation hours that yet they're not able to use, as we have not encouraged, anyone, especially employees, to travel anywhere as the, situation and numbers arise every day. I understand that cities around the region and or around the state have done to different resorts than this one in particular, which is paying 60 employees 40 hours from their vacation accrual that they have. So we would be reducing their vacation bank by 40 hours and paying them in cash. This is a temporary solution in which staff will need to seek a permanent solution to this, because the problem will continue depending on how this pandemic evolves. Now more than ever, these employees are needed to serve our community, and they serve our residents with pride and take care of all of us. Out of those 60 employees, excuse me, in this pool of people that work for us, 35 are public safety, parks, public works, half of the finance department, administration, prosecutor, attorney, risk, billing, collection, and economic development. This is something that the policy already allows us, or allows me to do it, but for the sake of transparency, I wanted to bring it in front of council. It is my personal belief as state administrator that employees with good attendance should not be punished. The financial reporting has already been recognized, the vacation accruals and the compensated absences. So this is our recommendation from administration. Finance Department does not agree, for the record, with my recommendation. But again, I don't think that employees should be punished, and I think we should allow this selling of 40 hours of vacation time and look for a permanent solution to this while this pandemic evolves or finishes. I don't know if you have any particular questions. It's my understanding that Chief Jessup and Chief Ramirez wanted to make a comment.
Yes, please. Chief?
Mayor, Vice Mayor, and Council, thank you so much. I spent a little bit of time looking at this particular item that Tadeo has put before you. I've spoken with Chief Ramirez, and so I'm going to try to represent him tonight as well, as far as the fire department is concerned, and give you kind of an overview of what our consensus was. Many of our employees, as has been stated, have reached already maximum vacation time and aren't accruing any more hours to that. I have right now in just the police department alone, 25 employees that are maxed out with vacation, which means once they max out, they don't gain any more. I will shortly become one of those people. One of the other issues that we face now with 4-05 is the sick time, that once they go over their sick time, even though it's being accrued, is then calculated back into vacation time. For every 3 hours of sick time is converted back to 1 hour of vacation time. And 23 of my employees are already maxed out over 360 hours. And of that, 17 of them are already maxed out of vacation time. And so they're not gaining any vacation time. And once the sick time gets converted over, they're going to lose that as well. As you know, since really January, we have been 5 officers down. And so our overtime budget has taken a real hit. Come back to March, and as you know, with the COVID-19 and everything now that is going across this nation, my department, the fire department, has been impacted to where we have people who have tested positive for COVID-19, and we've had to supplement those people as well. It is literally impossible for us to tell people to take vacations because they would be subject to travel restrictions and they would be subject to being called in as far as that's concerned. I wholeheartedly agree that they need their vacation time, and I encourage them to take their vacation time whenever possible as it fits into their schedule. But at this particular time, as to where I think the COVID-19 problem is going, as well as where the public unrest is going, I cannot tell them to take vacation time. I need them close by. I need them here. As you know, yesterday was the president visit here for 30 minutes. I literally had my entire patrol staff on simply because of what we had to do to shut down the roadways. And so now is a critical time for us and the fire department to maintain as many of our people to be available to come in and work due to the pandemic and the times that we're facing right now. We both agree, Chief Ramirez and I both agree, that this is a great way to not only give incentive to those employees that have been dedicated, that haven't called in sick, that haven't taken vacation time, that are dedicated to their work to the city and the community. This would be a tremendous morale boost to them as well by allowing us to buy that back. Some of these people are in a position to where even if you buy their 40 hours back, they're literally going to be maxed out again already. So we are asking as public safety for you to consider this option of buying these 40 hours until a solution can be done or made that will address this particular issue as well. But that's where public safety stands. I know that Chief Ramirez is listening by phone, and as we discussed it today, we are both in agreement with the proposal that the city manager has put before you today. And I'll field any questions that any of you may have as far as that's concerned.
Mayor, I don't hear you. Mayor?
Got it, thank you. Thank you. Gracias. Chief, well, this question is basically to Tadeo and Monica. What is the total amount you're talking about in regards to dollars? You're talking about 60 employees. What I see is close to half of them are basically first responders. And basically, well, actually more than that, because they're essential workers in order to guarantee the basic functions of our city. So what is the total amount we're talking about at this point in time?
Good evening, Mayor, members of the council. Right now, just before I answer your question, Mayor, I want to address a little bit of what Tadeo mentioned and a little bit
Monica, before you ask, I asked the question, just a simple question.
Okay.
And then I'll argue to comment.
Right now, as the agenda item is presented, it projects about $85,000 just to temporarily solve this issue. However, as the chief was mentioning, these vacation accruals will continue accumulating. So if we don't find a long-term solution, we can spend up to $350,000.
But
That's your projection
that's
of
not
next
the
year?
intent.
Wait, Tadeo. Okay, so that's your projection for the total of next year or this year?
And this year is already ending. We only have about a couple of days left. This pretty much is the couple of days left that we have through the end of the year. As we have been talking about, we don't know how long the situation is going to last. We are hopeful this COVID issue will have a positive outcome maybe in January, but still I think that's wishful thinking.
Okay. My next question, Monica, to you is, have we already paid off, has this happened already this year?
Correct. On March, when this pandemic started, and it was the buyout for the vacation buyout for the employees, we were in the same situation that we are right now. Employees were reaching their cap, and I was requested to look into the budget and see if it was possible to do a vacation payout. At that time, I looked in the budget, and we did have funds to do that payout. And in addition, at that moment, I think that all of us were hopeful, Mayor, that this situation was going to last only through June. When we started, we were positive and thinking, oh, maybe in June, maybe in July. And we were thinking this situation would resolve. So in April, there was a payout to employees that were reaching their cap. So this time is the second time around that we're going again with the same solution that is not the long-term solution that we need. We need something that would ensure that our employees won't keep losing their vacation accruals.
Monica, what is the policy for accumulation? After a certain period, what's our current policy? Do they lose
Right now,
their vacation?
Right now, the policy is once employees reach their cap, there are different tiers. So once they reach their cap, they stop accruing vacation hours.
Okay, that's not good. And this policy has been established since when?
The policy that we have right now in place,
Yeah.
I think it's dated from
It's the same policy from 2006, but I wanted to correct the buyback that we did in March and the one that we do in September is the regular one that we do every year and that we have been doing for as far as I can remember. What Monica was asked was to look into 10 employees that were maxed out and see if they would allow to be, because they received their buyback in September, and if we were able to do it again in March. And again, and as part of our policy, we do it in March and we do it in September every year. So
Okay.
what was done in March was for just 10 employees.
okay, just if I may respectfully comment on that. Tadeo is correct about that happened during the vacation buyback. which is a benefit that our employees have to sell their vacation. Right now, the policy is 20 hours. You can sell 20 hours, and that's what the policy states. It was reduced, before it was 40, but because of the salary adjustments that we have been implementing and bringing our employees to market, it was reduced to 20 hours. So during that time, that was when it was decided that employees that were reaching their max, they will be able to sell more than the 20 hours established by policy to avoid for them to lose their accruals. So it is the same situation that we are doing right now. Employees are reaching their max, and now they need to sell more hours. So at this point, if we continue at that trend, every time that employees are reaching their cap and we're paying out, it can build up on a financial impact for the city of $350,000 if we don't look for another solution.
Okay. Now, when you say cap, what is the current cap for accumulation of hours? What is the total number of hours you can accumulate over a year?
Right now, we have 3 tiers, 320, 240, and 160 hours.
The reason I ask you is because, one, we didn't know about the pandemic was going to happen. We had an idea it was going to affect us, but it's affecting us economically, it's affecting us physically, and in all aspects. And the thing is, and also the term penalize, or we're not going to penalize our first responders. We're going to work this out. But what I see here is we have a problem. The method we have right now is not working. Either we have to increase, or they can carry over for the next year, something like that. But our employees eventually will need to have to take vacation off. I know right now, because of the mandate, our first responders, our essential workers cannot take vacation because of the policy established. People need to be here. People can get sick and will get sick, and we want to make sure we have, first and foremost, the essential service, our public safety running at 24/7 all the time. So I think you're right, Monica, by saying this is not going to solve the problem, but I think we need to fix it. I think my personal opinion is that's 80,000. We've already paid 50,000. That was the last time we did it in March, something like that. So we talked about salary raises, salary adjustments, and we were looking for how can we do it. This was not budgeted, and I agree with you, Monica. And we need to be very sure. We need to be very careful when we decide to buy everyone out. We are not going to penalize our first responders. I think we should set. Okay, so in order for do the payout, we have to do it before the end of this month, correct?
Correct, Mayor. But I just want to finalize my comment also to give you more information, because I think that the key for council to make an informed decision and the best decision for the city and the employees is information, is being aware of the implications of each situation. Right now, as it was mentioned, it was proposed to sell 40 hours to the employees. Like, the employees will sell 40 hours to the city. They will be able to sell 40 hours. That would solve that problem for some, but not for all of the 60 employees. The reason is because at the end of the year, also the city has a policy that the sick time convert to vacation. So in a lot of those employees, of those 60, what they have right now, even if they are in the cap, they're gonna add another 40 or 50 hours of vacation to what they're already carrying. So this solves the issue for some, and others, they might have only 2 hours or 3 of carryover or of overage. So again, it's complicated. Now, I have heard within the organization some employees mentioning, well, yes, let's pay out just this time, 80,000, what's 80,000? Let's just pay those. But what is important to mention is that right now in that list, there are 60 employees. But next month, there will be more employees in that list. In October, there will be more. From the list from March, there were, Reina Tadeo mentioned, 10 employees or 20. Right now, there are 60. So again, we are doing some benefit and giving the benefit of giving cash to some employees when others might say, hey, why they got payout and we are not going to be paid out. So personally, and in doing research with the other municipalities, all the municipalities, what they're doing to face these circumstances is to increase the cap and forgetting about payouts, not complicating so much about the finances. Let's just protect our employees. Don't let them lose their accruals. It's very important for them, like you mentioned. They need their vacation. Let's make sure that they have them. But paying to some employees and leaving other employees aside, we're not being consistent.
Okay.
Thank you.
I will now open the floor to discussion for council. Matias?
Where does the emergency money from FEMA come into play with this situation? I mean, is that what those funds are for, to help the cities in these type of situations that we're in? I mean, are we able to build them for this, or when we get the money, go back and balance the expense that we weren't looking into? How does that work?
That is a very good question, Matias.
I ask this because I see both sides of it, but I think our first responders they're in the worst position, being that they can't really do anything, like the chief mentioned. So it's something that not every employee is going to be the same, and like Monica, you mentioned, it might be different for other employees in other departments, but first responders is something that they really have no choice. So I don't know if you could comment on that, the FEMA money or those money the governor is supposed to send us.
That's a good question.
Yeah, that is a very good question and a very good observation, Council Rosales, because it's interesting. In talking to the city of Somerton, they mentioned that they didn't make any change. The only change they did was increase the cap, only for the public safety, not for everyone. Right here in the city, we are very kind because we appreciate our employees, and we're talking about increasing the cap for everyone, not just the public safety. Now, in going to the question about the grant money, we are very optimistic that a lot of help will be coming to the city. We are going through the application process. Still, we have not received any reimbursement from FEMA. We consider that we want to be finished next month. Still, there are a lot of questions about how can we use those monies. We don't want to be penalized either. So until we got that money in our bank, we have it. We can have with certainty how we can route it and if it will be beneficial. I am very optimistic that we will be able to use it to support our public safety personnel, but I'd rather delay disbursement of cash until we have more information. Right now, I think that we are taking a decision when there is so many uncertainties. We still don't have all the picture of how this pandemic situation is gonna pan out.
Mayor?
Thank you.
This is the city attorney, Mayor.
Yes,
I just wanted to share with council the experience of Houston. The city attorneys in Houston have been through several flood disasters, and FEMA will tell them, yes, go ahead and charge us, and then they'll deny. So even when it's on paper that something is reimbursable, they can change their mind. So it is a very, I mean, I'm sure we'll get money reimbursed, but what exactly will be reimbursed is we just don't know.
And,
I have, my understanding was first responders, operational was the key for FEMA. And I know FEMA right now, every single community in the state, every city entity is requesting, because everyone's going to be hit between 25, 30% of their budget. So it's going to be a challenge to get reimbursed. And so that is also, we need to take that also into account when we make a decision. And the thing is, it's not only about either we do a payoff here or not them. It's interesting what the city of Somerton did. They only increase only for the first responders. I'm not saying that's an option to think about. So, okay, I'm going to go ahead and open the floor for more council members to comment.
Mayor, I have a question for Monica.
I'll be right there, Sonia. I'll be right there. I'm sorry. No, Gloria. I'm going to go one by one. You're next after Africa, please.
Okay.
Thank you, Africa.
Yes, Mayor. So I have several concerns because I want to be fair with everybody, but I also want to do what's right for the city. So that's why I'm kind of in a bind. But my main concern, I guess, is that I feel that we are just going to be trimming vacation hours, and then in a couple of months we'll be back to square one, and the funds weren't budgeted for, as you know, as you mentioned a while ago. So I think that we need to lift the cap, in my opinion, lift the cap until further, you know, until we know what direction the city or this whole situation is headed. But I also think that the employees that are currently at that point where they're losing from here until June, that those employees should get paid off. And then after that, I don't know, update the city policy to open up the cap.
I agree. That sounds like a good. That's a very logical solution.
And I have a lot of things going on in my mind, so I might come back with
That's
this.
okay.
But yeah, it's like I said, I want to be fair. Like some employees that are like I said, like we should pay the employees that are due from here on until June to close out this fiscal year. And then, you know, that makes me think, well, what about the other employees? So that's another thing that makes me think about, in all fairness, but it wasn't budgeted for. So can we do something? I mean, I know the budget was already.
We have, just remember that this is from this budget year. Okay, so
Right.
we have money.
For
We have
this
money in the contingency, yes.
Yeah, we can take care of it here or with this budget, right? But what about in a couple of months when we have employees that will be maxed out? Because we have employees that accumulate 6 point some hours of vacation leave every paycheck. And if they're maxed out and we just pay them 40, it'll be a matter of a couple months before they're maxed out again. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, but that's where I'm at.
Well, good, thank you. No, definitely. Gloria?
Yes,
You
I
had a
have
comment,
a,
question?
yes, I have a question for Monica. Monica, what options do we have to assist the employee, and what is your recommendation?
What option do we have for what, Council Torres? The first part of the question, can you repeat it, please?
Yeah, what options do you have to assist the employees?
To assist the employees, finance or the option that we are recommending is to increase the cap. That way, we would not punish our employees. They will continue accruing, and the city will not be in the position to disperse cash. As I mentioned right now, we don't want to set a precedent and start doing something that we're not going to be able to carry at the long term. Why would we want to get into that?
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Gloria. Vice Mayor?
Yes, Mayor. My comment is, of course, this wasn't budgeted because this is a pandemic, you know. this is something that nobody was looking into. Like Monica said, we thought this was gonna be over in June, but the way things are going, this is gonna go on for longer than anybody expected. But I really do feel that we should do something right now, as Tadeo is requesting, and then continue to create a policy or update this policy so that we can adjust it to the pandemic, all this crazy stuff that's going on. As far as the grant, that's how I understood the grant, that we were going to be able to submit for this grant because of all these financial issues that we're having to pay out or pay for because of the COVID pandemic. And that's exactly what we're doing, is we're going to have to pay out monies for our employees that are not going to be able to relax and take vacation time, which are they're all overworked. I know they are. But if we add stress upon another stress to what they're already going through, thinking, what's going to happen to this money. I'm thinking right now we should go ahead and move forward like Tadeo says, and then make adjustments like Monica is recommending. I think we should move forward and do both. So that's my opinion, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you, Vice Mayor. So noted. Jose Ponce, questions, comments, concerns?
Hi, Mayor. I hope everybody's paying attention to Monica. I think she's the expert. Okay. And please, Tadeo, I like that. Please don't use the word punishing. Nobody's punishing anybody here, Tadeo. I hate to hear the word punish. Okay. No. If somebody's getting punished, the whole community punished by the coronavirus. But nobody's punishing the employees. This is just regulations. Mayor, my recommendation would be, increase the cap on the hours, and then so this way, we can save money and save the vacation time for the employees.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, Jose. Mario?
Mayor, I know, yeah, we have a situation here. But I agree with everyone's, ideas. I think that our employees deserve their vacation time or their payout. If we can start right now, like Africa and Vice Mayor said, let's start right now and let's get them taken care, on the June people, and then we'll decide what's going to happen, for a new fiscal year. But I think we are in this situation, and we want to do the best for our employees. We understand that, but it's hard. It's hard. I don't know what to say. I liked everyone's ideas, and it's all about taking care of the employee.
Thank you, Mario. I appreciate it. I just now want to make a comment. We've been very fortunate. We've been very, we're always thinking about our employees. It's very important. But this situation right now, it's not only affecting our community, it's affecting all aspects. The way people do business, the people who go to the store, people are not going to the store. We're not even sure of the amount of taxes that are going to be generated or income that's going to be coming to the city. There's a reason why when we worked on the budget, we moved all capital improvement, major capital improvement projects till December, because we were not sure, we were uncertain of the amount of money that was going to come into the city through taxes and through the different grants and through the state. And so there's a lot of I will see and see what happens. It is something that is it's not about. Let me be very clear. It's not about punishing the employees. Okay, Monica, you used it. Tadeo, you used it. It's not about punishing the employees. It's about trying to be as helpful as we can, as realistic as we can. financially speaking, we need to make sure that we have money to pay our employees. When we talked about giving our employees the last phase of their salary raise, that issue was about because of the uncertainty of our economy. The fact that the federal government says that they're going to aid us, that FEMA is going to aid us, FEMA will not be able to aid every single community. And for us to hope and wish, yeah, that's what it is, hope and wish. We cannot depend on our federal government. So we need to make sure that we make the right decision. And it's not about punishing our employees. And I agree with you, Councilmember Ponce. We shouldn't be talking about punishing. We're talking about making the right decision. It's about protecting their jobs. Companies are laying off people. Companies are actually putting caps and people are losing their insurance. They're cutting their hours and they're using their vacation time to cover for those times. These are companies are doing. And that's a fact. Because example number one, the hospital. If they don't do it, they'll go bankrupt. They're cutting hours. They're cutting hours of their providers. They're cutting hours of the nurses. And so we've been very fortunate. And we've been very good to our employees. And yes, our employees are very loyal. But we're caught in a situation, a very difficult situation. We're not punishing you. We can't. But the fact of the matter is, will we get the funding? Are we going to sacrifice the projects? Are we going to sacrifice the expansion of the senior center? There's a lot of things that we need to talk about here. We have a problem here. We have a problem. We have 60 employees. We need to look at our policy. There's a problem with our policy. And so I like the idea of paying off right now. They don't have it's not their fault. We didn't know we were going to have the situation. But wait, let me tell you, I want to make sure you have to deal with this, putting a Band-Aid over the situation right now. That's not good politics. It's not good business. We need to fix the problem. Fix the problem now, not wait till the following year. Matias, go ahead.
Well, no, I just wanted to reiterate what you're saying, that, and I believe that's why the staff is coming in, asking for the two motions, try to find a permanent solution and then deal with what we had to deal with this month, this fiscal year. You mentioned earlier we have contingency funds. Do we have an amount of what we have in contingency funds right now?
You have $525,282.16. $500,000.
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And then the other question is, I think earlier you were saying hi to Ralph, and I know, he's the consultant and everything, but, he's been around a couple of these probably emergencies at city level. Can we get a input from Ralph on his opinion in regards to maybe, if he's going to work with staff or, trying to figure out a permanent solution for down the road? I don't know if we can ask him to give a comment if he's online. I don't know if he's online or not still.
Yeah, he's online. I actually spoke to him for quite some time and talked about this issue because we both worry about the situation. We both worry about the well-being of our employees, but we also the well-being of the city, the whole situation. So Ralph, could you please comment?
Absolutely. I have a question for Tadeo. So on this 40-hour cap, some of the employees may be 1 hour over the limit. Others may be over 30 hours. And yet we're doing 40 hours across the board. How does that work? It's sort of not an equity 40-hour cap.
We're doing, it's not a 40-hour cap, it's a 40-hour payout, sellback.
Well, that's the same thing. That's the way the agenda item reads, 40-hour cap.
Yeah, but it's a 40-hour, it's to, I guess, the motion meant to say that not to sell back to the employees more than 40 hours because employees are maxed out at, 320, 160, 225, they're over the
No,
limit.
I understand that. But my question is, are we buying down to the max limit or are we buying 40 hours across the board?
40
Because
hours,
there's some,
40,
it's not parity across the board.
40 hours across the board.
And if I add,
That's okay, that's one issue. The other issue is, and I agree, you know, we need to work on a permanent solution. I'd be happy to help, but we need a cut, like I told Tadeo today, we need a cut-off date as to when we're gonna freeze, or at least try to freeze that cap. Is it July 1? Or is it November 1, or is it January 1?
This is, so there's two proposals. The 40-hour sellback to employees right now that are maxed out at that amount, and then to direct staff to work on the permanent solution, which most likely we would come to you within less than a month to say the cap of 160 hours should be 240, the cap of 240 should be 320, and the cap of 320 should be 400, which is the 80-hour difference they have amongst themselves. But right now,
But let me ask you again, I'm not getting my point across. If I'm 2 hours over my max, and another employee is 30 hours over the max, do I get 40 hours? And does the other person get 40 hours, or do I get 2 hours?
everyone is at their max.
Come down to my accrual maximum.
So no one is, so if you're at your limit of 320 hours, you don't have 340. So you would be getting paid 40 hours because you already max at 320. Whomever's maxed out at 240, you'll get 40 hours. Whomever's maxed out at 160, you'll get 40 hours. No one is over that limit.
if I may, this is where I came from with my concerns of the payout. There's so many, we are putting the city in a very tough situation and identifying which employees will be paid out and how much. That's what I was hoping, not to go with a payout and just increase the cap, and is a more straightforward way. With a vacation payout, if all the employees are paid 40 hours, like I mentioned, at the end of the year, some employees are gonna be over 50 hours because their sick time, they're gonna convert in vacation. So we will be in the situation that Ralph is mentioning. There will be employees that will be only 2 hours, and there will be employees that will be over 30 hours. So there's gonna be an inconsistency across the board.
Monica, every time someone reaches their maximum amount of hours, they don't go over that. I have chief or lieutenant,
that was what I
anyone
was
can attest to.
hoping, that on this session, the recommendation will be right now to remove or to increase the cap. This will allow our employees that their sick time is gonna convert to vacation, they keep it.
Okay, well, it
Because
turns
right
out,
now-
it
I'm sorry.
appears, well, wait,
I'm sorry.
please. Well, what we have to do then we have to look at the sick accumulation also.
Correct.
Is that fair? We need to look at other communities also. And the thing is, we're all cutting our budgets. We are all working on a lean budget, and we need to look at all aspects. And maybe we need to look at the accumulation of hours, because it's right now we're going to go into a depression, a financial depression that's going to take years to recover from. We need to start planning now. And before, I don't want to talk about layoffs. I don't want to talk about furloughs. But if this situation continues, it's an option that we're probably going to have to do. So whatever we decide tonight, it's something that we might consider. But when we say pay out, we're not going to pay out anyone that after tonight. The only people we're talking about paying out is the people right now and fixing the problem. There's no way we can afford to pay everyone enough till the end of the year. We can't. So we have a problem right now with 60 employees. They just happen to be right in the middle of the pandemic, and they can't take vacation. So we're talking about the employees, the 60 employees right now. We're not talking about the employees that are going to max out next month or 2 months from now. That's why we're going to have staff to work on the solution, not a Band-Aid, a solution. Because when you talk about, oh, what happens to the employees that are going to max out in 2 months or 3 months, of course it's going to cost us $250,000. We do not have that money. But we do have the money to pay off the 60 employees right now.
And Mayor, if I may, like right now, through June, if we look, we can look into the employees that are at 320, 316 or 310 hours, because their max will be 320. And we can look only at those, and the ones that are gonna reach that limit at June 30th. But again, like I mentioned, there are some employees that maybe are not even in the list of the 60 employees, and maybe at June 30, they're gonna get 40 hours of vacation. And they're gonna lose them all if a decision is not taken tonight about increasing the cap.
There's no question about it. We're not going to increase the cap. There's no question about that, Monica. We're talking about the 60 employees right now.
And what I'm saying is that by paying right now to some, we might be left out some that will be entitled to a payment.
It's something that we have to do. It's decisions like this we're going to have to do, Monica. And unfortunately, we have to. It's for the benefit of the city, it's for the financial stability of the city.
So Mayor, so the motion should then put a date on there as well, no? For employees up to 30th to the end of the month.
So,
That way
so how about, since what I've been listening, for the motion to pay the 6 employees that are on the list already, and to increase each of the tiers by 80 hours, and that can be done right now. How does that sound to you? We pay the employees that are already on the list, and we increase each of the tiers by 80 hours, which is the difference they have between them. Right now, tier 1 is 160, tier 2 is 240, and tier 3 is 320.
Well, we're putting another Band-Aid on it also. Because employees need to take vacation. Period. We cannot afford to be paying out every single time.
No.
People need to start taking vacation, because of the pandemic, it's really hard right now for our first responders to take vacation, but other people can take vacation. We need to be realistic, guys. So why are you accumulating 300 and something hours?
Mayor, I would like to second your statement. I was thinking about that as well. I fully understand public safety and all that, but other employees, I see no reason why not. I agree with you 100%.
Thank you. It's just one of those, why are so many, the thing is, has our full overtime gone up? The question is. That's another question we need to talk about also. Let's look at our overtime and who's actually doing the overtime. First responders?
It's first responders. Not
And no one else is doing overtime.
Doing or going over the budget.
I'm talking about overtime. We shouldn't be having overtime at this point in time. If you're not a first responder or an essential worker.
No, if any lately might be facilities because of the cleanup that they've done, but no, they have not.
They're essential workers. They're supported as our first responders.
So yeah, so non-essential workers, no, they're not working overtime.
Because we need to make sure that our budget is healthy. We need to be able to make those payments. So all those things we can do. So Tadeo, when you mentioned about the creating, for example, paying off the employees till June and also creating an 80 per hour cap in addition to what they have right now, are you telling me that you want us to solve the problem right now by doing that?
I think that that would be our solution, right, Monica? I mean, to increase it by 80 hours.
Yeah, we need to take a decision right now if we don't want employees, well, not necessarily, because if the decision is going to be to increase the cap, with payout or not, they will not lose vacation, but it's your option if you want to do that payout too. But it's important to increase the cap, for sure, because on June 30th, employees will get vacation hours, and the system automatically will stop them. So we need council direction so we can move that in our system so that on June 30th, employees continue accruing. The payment, I'll completely leave it up to you, council members.
Thank you. We're going to go once more. Matias?
No, I understand. I mean, I'm for the payout as well because we need to get these employees that got stuck in the limbo with this COVID. I mean, again, like you said, they're the ones that got stuck. And then by increasing the cap, that helps the other employees until we find a permanent solution afterwards.
Yeah.
Today, I mean, I think that solves a little bit of both problems. We have the contingency funds at least to cover these employees and, move forward and have staff work together and figure out a permanent solution if this continues forward 3-6 months from now, and we're going to be in the same situation.
Exactly. Okay, good. Africa?
I agree with what Matias just said. I'm on board.
Okay. Gloria? Gloria? Do you have a comment, question, Gloria?
Yes, I definitely need to increase the cap to those employees that need to. And I know there's a difficult times to know what employees are being impacted, especially our safety personnel, but we need to support our employees too and be careful with our finance. And we had a good finance director that she's taking care of everything, our monies, and I should trust her and her opinion.
Thank you. Maria? Vice Mayor?
Yes, Mayor, agree completely with Matias.
Thank you. Jose Ponce?
I agree with Monica also. I think that we shouldn't rely on FEMA. It's like an old Mexican old saying, no contar los pollitos antes de que ponga la gallina. Porque no sabemos, we don't know if we want to get the money, reimbursement, money back. So I agree with Gloria also that we need to keep an eye on our finances. We need to increase the cap on overtime hours. Thank you.
Thank you. Mario?
Mayor, I don't know, it might sound hard, I mean, we did mention it already, but I mean, I would like to take care of the first responders, take care of their vacation time, and then we go from there, we can make other adjustments for the other employees. I know everyone is essential at this time, but these guys, they're there, they're working, they're risking their lives, and most of our essential workers, they're working from home also, and they're being at home and they're resting too. So, but I would like to take care of the first responders first.
Thank you, Mario. No, you heard it. I will now entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move to approve a one-time 40 cap vacation buyback program in a total amount not to exceed $80,000 with the 2019-2020 fiscal year, and increase the cap to 80 hours per tier, and to use contingency funds only if departments have insufficient funds.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor. There's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 Aye. All those against? Motion carries. Thank you, Monica.
Thank you.
Are we doing the second motion, Mayor?
We already increased the limit right now, as per your motion, unless you want us to do a finance, to look into the other policies.
A permanent or a temporary permanent?
Okay, Matias, I would make a motion to set a time limit of 2 months to look over our accumulation of hours or accumulation of sick leave, to look at the overall benefit of vacation time.
And sick.
So in 2 months, put a limit. We need this fixed in 2 months because we're going to see this problem coming back in a couple more months. So we need staff to look at that. Everyone needs to be sitting in the same room. Everyone needs to be on the same page. We need to protect our employees, but the most important things, we need to protect the budget of the city. We need to be able to function. We need to be able to provide those essential services to our community, especially in these times. So 2 months.
Okay.
Would you do that, Matias?
I was second your motion, so was yours a motion or you wanted that?
Yes, I want to set a 2-month time limit for staff to look into the accumulation of hours, the accumulation of sick leave, the conversion from sick leave to vacation time, to look at a possible solution, a long-term solution that will work for the employees, but mainly to protect the essential services of the city of San Luis, which includes its budget, its personnel, and its first responders.
I second that motion.
There's a motion on the floor. Does anyone have any questions? I'm gonna go to Africa. Question?
No questions, Mayor. I agree 100%.
Thank you. Gloria, any questions?
No, Mayor, good decision.
Thank you. Vice Mayor?
No,
Questions?
Mayor. No.
Thank you. Jose, questions, comments, concerns?
No, Mayor, it's a good move. Thank you.
Mario, questions or concerns?
Yes, Mayor, I have one concern.
Please.
The motion, I like the motion that you're saying, but I have a question on the sick pay. How come that overrides to vacation? How come they can transfer those hours to vacation? Why? I mean, sick pay should be sick pay, and the way of when you need it is there, not just to transfer it to vacation so you can go to Bahamas and because you didn't get sick. The thing is that I'm saying if they accumulate 320 hours on sick pay or 400, whatever hours they accumulate, they should override every year, and they should have it there every year if they don't use it. And on the vacation time, yes, they should use it every year at the end of the fiscal year. By the end of the fiscal year, I think that will be much better. I mean, I've seen it in other companies that works well, but I don't know. It's just an idea for them to look at it, and so we won't be having this problem. I mean, sick pay should be there whenever they need it, and vacation time should be used by the end of the fiscal year for everyone.
And that's why I added, Mario. I added that because they have to look at how we acquire
Can you hear us?
Yes, we can hear you. Okay, I'm gonna test, I'm gonna make sure that everyone can hear. Matias, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Africa, can you hear us?
Loud and clear.
Thank you. Ralph? Ralph, can you hear us? Ralph?
I'm here.
Reyes?
I'm here.
Okay, good. Okay, Gloria, can you hear us?
Yes, here.
Chris, can you hear us?
Yes, Mayor.
Thank you. Maria, can you hear us?
Yes, sir.
Jose Ponce, can you hear us?
Loud and clear.
Mario, hear us?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Tadeo?
We're here.
Perfect, okay. So when did we lose each other? Was it when I was reading item number 6C?
Yes, right before you were instructing us to look at both vacation and sick time policies.
Okay, so that was done, and we took a vote, and it passed unanimously.
Not
Did
the
you get that?
second motion, Mayor. I did not get the vote on the second motion that you made.
But you did get record of the motion.
Yes, we did.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and repeat the vote right now. And we had a motion, we had a second, and it's the previous motion we talked about regarding limiting the time limit to 2 months for staff to establish and look at the overall protocol for our vacation, sick time, accumulation of, and also look at caps. I will now go ahead and go for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Mayor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mayor, I don't think we recorded who made the motion who seconded the motion.
They just did.
I did get that the
Oh,
mayor
okay.
made the motion and Councilmember Matias Rosales seconded his motion.
Okay, I'm sorry.
So are we all clear, Kay?
Yes, all clear.
Okay. All those in favor? We're going to repeat it. All those in favor?
Aye.
All those against? Motion carries unanimously. Motion carries. Got that one? Okay, Sonia?
Yes, we heard it.
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Okay. Well, we're going to go with item number 6C, discussing the possible action in all matters regarding order number 2020-13, in order of the Mayor City Council of the City of San Luis, Arizona, declaring the employee benefits plan a public record, approving the employee benefits plans for fiscal year 2020-2021 for the administration by the San Luis Employee Benefits Trust, providing for repeal of conflicting actions of City Council, providing for severability, and establishing an effective date for the plan. Mr. Edgardo Carvajal, or Kay?
Edgardo couldn't make it this evening, but so I'm taking over. I'm the pitch hitter. This is the routine action that council allocates the money for the employee benefits plan, which was decided at the retreat and in the tentative budget. And so it's all the plans, the dental, the health, the Mexican plan, everything. And it's for $2,683,400.
Okay, and this is to make a public record, and this is to approve the budgeting process for the fiscal year?
Yes, it's to actually allocate this amount to the benefits plan to the trust.
And just to remind council that we went over the currently changes that were recommended by the Benefits Trust, one of the things that we were able to maintain a minimal increase to the employee health benefits, both in the San Luis plan and the Mexican plan. Both dental, I believe there was a slight improvement or increase in fees, but it was minimal in regards to co-pays. We're talking about something that does not happen. The vast majority of insurance plans increase their premiums by close to, 5 and 10%, depending. So we've been able to maintain a very competitive and to maintain our premiums at a much lower rate compared to other communities. So San Luis continues to offer one of the better plans to our employees, to our first responders, than most municipalities. I believe there's 1 or 2 in the whole state that actually has better plans than we do. That's one of the incentives the city can offer our employees. I'm very grateful with our broker. I'm very grateful with the Benefits Committee for thinking that way, and we're very proactive. And healthcare is something that we want our employees to be able to afford. I know plans are getting more expensive, coverage is getting more expensive, but we've been very fortunate to have actually our contracts are very good. We are recontracting with Sierra Med, we did. And it's a very, very good plan compared to the other plans of the state. So I'm very grateful. Any questions? Matias?
No, sir, no questions. Another
Thank you.
great for our employees.
Exactly. Africa? Questions, concerns?
No, Mayor, just a comment that this is another great benefit, and I strongly believe that the city of San Luis has the best benefits package for employees. So it's a great opportunity for them to count their blessings as well, to be part of the team.
Good. Thank you, Africa. Gloria, comments, questions, or concerns?
No, Mayor, no comment.
Thank you.
Good insurance, I would tell you.
Oh, thank you, Gloria. Thank you, Gloria. Vice Mayor, questions, concerns?
None, Mayor.
Thank you. Jose Ponce, questions or concerns?
No, Mayor, thank you.
Mario, questions or concerns?
No, Mayor, another great benefit for the employees. I see that too, and yeah, we're blessed.
Thank you. Thank you, Mario. If there's more concerns, or if there's some more concerns or questions, Council, I will now entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move to approve order number 2020-13.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor. There's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All those against? Motion carries. Thank you, Kay.
You're welcome. Thank you.
We're going to go ahead and go with item number 60, discussion and possible action on all matters regarding order number 2020-15, in order of the Mayor and City Council of the City of San Luis approving and adopting an amendment to the February 26, 2020 development agreement with Comité de Bienestar in company to create a lot split and to share responsibility for the construction of a street. Kay?
Yes, Mayor and Council. Gary Black is here as the applicant and may want to also have something to say. The amendment is based on what we took away from the work session, and so if we were wrong about our takeaway, please correct us. But the way we wrote the amendment to the development plan for the park project with Bienestar was to keep as close to the 20 acres that was originally contemplated, and to share in building a full road to the south of the park, but the city would pay for their half or build their half when we can. We don't commit to any particular time. Let me see if there's anything else. That was the main takeaway, and that's what we thought you wanted to see in the amendment.
I believe that was the takeaway message when we talk about this item, that we were not going to not proceed because of a half road. And I believe the half road was, Mr. Vera, what was the price of that half road that we were going to do? Always good to see you, Mr. Vera. Always good to see you.
Good evening, Mayor, Vice Mayor, members of council. You know, I can't, for whatever reason, that number split my mind, but I think it was in the range of 130, 150, I believe. Yeah, I just didn't think about that before the meeting.
Both Gary and I are nodding our head that we remember the 130 figure.
Yeah, and that was roughly an approximate, you know, with, not knowing exactly whether we're gonna have curb and gutter, sidewalk, whether it's gonna be just a vertical curb, you know, all those would affect the price. But I think that was a number that, I gave a while back to Glenn based on, not knowing exactly what was gonna go in, with whether it was gonna be with curb and gutter and sidewalk. But, as far as the paving, I think that should be well within that range.
I remember like a 130 or 128,000 or something like that. So, yeah, it's something that, anything is being started, they have to build those homes in that area in order to afford. So we understand the argument. So I believe that was the general idea, and it's good. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and open it for council. Okay, Matias.
Nothing, sir. Got a lot of positive remarks from the community when it came out in the newspaper. So people were looking forward. There's going to be a stage build out down the road, 3 to 5 years probably. But they're looking forward to the east side having something.
Very good. Thank you, Matias. Africa, Luna Carrasco.
No, Mayor, no comments.
Thank you. Gloria Torres, comments, questions, or concerns?
No, Mayor, no comments.
Thank you. Maria, Vice Mayor, questions, concerns?
None, Mayor.
Thank you. Jose Ponce, questions or concerns?
No, Mayor, thank you.
Thank you. Marty Buchanan, questions or concerns?
No, Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you. If there's no more questions or concerns, I will now entertain a motion.
Mayor, I move to approve and adopt order number 2020-15.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor. There's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Mayor, I abstain for possible conflict of interest.
So noted, Gloria. Thank you. So, Kay, make sure we note that, please.
Yes, I can see
So-
that Sonia's taking it down. Thank you.
Okay. All those against? Motion carries. Thank you. Thank you, Kay. Okay, we're going to go with summary of current events. Events by mayor, city council members, and/or city manager pursuant to ARS 38-431.02. Any comments, questions, concerns? Council members?
Mayor,
No? Yes, huh?
I received a letter memo from Mr. Gary Black, Deputy Director of Comité de Bienestar, addressed to the San Luis City Council that says this is an announcement of significance to the community and to the city of San Luis. Comité de Bienestar was notified last week by the Arizona Department of Housing that they were awarded a LIHTC reservation for the development of CDV Valley View Apartments. The project is located on 4th Avenue across the street from the City Public Works yard facility. The project will have 13 buildings with 100 units of affordable multi-family housing. And he'd like to thank council and staff for the rezoning the property in March. I'm sorry, he's present, so it's hard for me to speak when he's in front of me.
Okay, Mr. Black, would you like to send comments?
Well, it's Gary Black, 963 East B Street, Comité de Bienestar. This is very exciting for the city. I'm excited to work with staff, excited that this project's going to be right across the road from the administration, city fire, city police. We're going to have 100 families adjacent to the school, adjacent to a childcare, adjacent to city parks, recreation, swimming pool. So it's a very exciting project, and I just wanted to create this excitement for the city and make sure that everybody knew, and we're moving forward with it.
Gary, before you leave, I'd like to congratulate you and thank you so much. The city has always partnered with our developers, and I appreciate the hard work you guys, the investments you've done to the city of San Luis. Thank you for what you do. And this is great news for the city of San Luis. And homes, it's something that we need, especially in that area. It's a perfect place for a location like that. So Gary, good job. Thank you. Please thank Tony and Bienestar.
And I will, and I would just like to add, I really sincerely appreciate Jose stuck his neck out with me. We had to rush that rezoning through. It had to get through. The council approved it, and we're thankful. As a team, we're going to make this work. So thanks for everybody.
Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Gary. Good news. Anyone else? Vice Mayor?
Yes, Mayor. I attended a web conference with Senator Sinema, and of course, we're still trying to come up, with the next COVID-19 relief package to include infrastructure funding for roads. So we're still working on that, and I believe you signed a letter. I don't know if it was today. Addressed to Senator Sinema, which she was very, very interested in learning more about our ports of entry. So I just want to thank her so much for being interested in what the city of San Luis offers with our ports of entries, which are so important. So thank you, Mayor, for signing that letter.
Thank you. No, no, I'd like to thank Senator Sinema for everything she does and her staff. Carlos is always texting me. Her assistant, he'll text me like on a Sunday and to see how we're doing. And that's just amazing what they do. And I also received a phone call from Ruben Reyes, which is also works for Raul Grijalva, and he's putting out some information out there regarding our needs, regarding the situation at the border, regarding the funding that we're supposed to get from the governor, that this is when the money that was the federal money that comes to the state. And so I've been having several meetings, several conversations. Just today, I had a conversation with the governor's office regarding the situation, regarding the whole our port of entry. I guess there's something that's going to come our way regarding possibly adding more restrictions to those who cross the border. And that worries me. And I made it very clear to the governor's office that let's not blame each other for COVID at this point in time. The reality is a lot of the numbers that we're seeing are because of community infection. That's what's going on. It's in our community. The reason I tell you is because it's community spread. It's because we're seeing those numbers. I'm actually seeing members of our community falling sick to COVID. And the thing is, let me make another comment regarding the testing. I worry if there is plans to cut the number of tests that are being performed in our community. As of right now, over 30,000 people have been tested for COVID, and that's something we need to continue. We need to know the numbers. We need to do the follow-ups. We need to actually do the follow-ups and actually contact these people who are positive and actually work with them. And there's a lot of work to be done in order for us to control the current surge of cases. I was looking at the CDC and what they recommend for us to fulfill in order for us to open our businesses. I believe there has to be a positive rate of 5% or less. That is my understanding when we do the testing. As of right now, Yuma County has between an 18 and 21 positive rate in regards to the testing. So not only are we getting positive because we're testing more, but more people are getting infected. What I'm seeing is a lot more young people. We're seeing a lot more young people in the 30s and their 20s with more severe respiratory illness. But then again, you get those patients who have just a headache for a day and feel slightly dizzy, and it's gone. But we also have those patients that don't have any symptoms, and so it's something that we're learning something new every day. But it's very important. When I talked to the governor's office, I said it's not about the people who are crossing over. There has been a 70% decrease in the number of people crossing via vehicle or via pedestrian compared to last year. A 70% decrease. So now you're going to tell me that the 70% are the cause for our COVID infections? I didn't agree with the statement. I'm making it clear right now. It's a combination. It's a factor. But right now, we're seeing a lot of community spread, and I made it very clear. The whole situation is causing financial situation, a very negative financial situation for the city. We're losing businesses. We're losing businesses on Main Street. And so it's very important. Businesses mean we lose jobs also. So I was very clear when I spoke to the governor's office and said, this is what's going on. So but before I go to a different topic, I want to commend our city for what you're doing. I am very proud of our community because as of right now, there are 5,131 cases confirmed positive COVID patients in Yuma County. That's a very, very high number. San Luis has 574 confirmed cases of COVID-19 patients. But let me not stop there. Let me compare to our other communities. City of Somerton has 1,574 confirmed cases. The city of Yuma, 172, or was it 1,772 based on that zip code. And so we're at 574. So we're doing something good. The community of San Luis has responded, and I appreciate the hard work you guys are doing. And so I commend you because COVID does not forgive. It's knocking on everyone's door, and we need to be proactive. We need to wear our face masks. We need to wash our hands. We need to do social distancing. We need to, if you're sick, stay home. It's working. Our numbers don't lie. So they could be higher. We could be over 1,700 cases right now, but we're at 574. I commend you, San Luis, and I thank you, San Luis, and we're going to continue working. It's tough, and I wish I'm tired. Everyone's tired of hearing, but it's something that we're going to have to go through, and we're going to work with this. First responders, thank you so much. Every day I hear the ambulances, our police officers. Thank you so much. Our trash collectors, muchísimas gracias for everything you do. Sanitation, thank you. Wastewater, thank you. So staff, I commend you. Council, I commend you for everything you do. And this is a team effort, and I appreciate the hard work you guys do. So that's what I wanted to say. Anything else? Does anyone else have anything? Tadeo, anything else?
No, that was it for me. Thank you.
Mayor, can we hear the numbers for our census, please?
Tadeo, do we have our numbers for our census? Our participation rate?
Yes, we have a.
Last time it was 9.2%.
I heard it increase, so I want to hear if it increased more. It was like 30%, I think.
9.3.
Is it 9.3?
No, it's it was about 30%, but
Oh, okay.
Wait, hold on a second. Our internet is slow today.
Yeah, it was up to 30-something%. So I just want to congratulate the team. It's going up there. It's not where it should be, but so it's creeping up there.
So it's at 31.9%. And in 2010, our response was 51.9%. So we're 20 points down than what our response rate was back in 2010. And of course, I mean,
It's a big number. I will be having a meeting with the census, with the director, and this will happen tomorrow at noon. So I will be meeting with them. I'll also be meeting with the legislative representatives from senators from the state of Arizona and local officials on Friday. That's our Friday. We talk about the situation in the border. So I will be hearing from the governor's office and see what's going to happen or what's going to be the directive from them. So there's a couple of meetings that are still pending. And so I first and foremost commend you and thank you everyone for the hard work you do. Please stay safe. And I just want to make sure that please stay safe. Anything else, Kay? Do we have anything else, Kay?
Nothing from me, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you so much. If not, I will now entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So move.
Second.
There's a motion on the floor. There's a second. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those
Aye.
against? All those against? Motion carries. Motion carries. Have a good night. Thank you, staff. Sonia, do you want me to sign something?
Good night, everybody.
Mayor,